everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report, brought to you by Center Field Media. And in today's video, we have some major breaking news as right-handed pitcher Lance Lynn has been traded to the Chicago White Sox. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. The Texas Rangers have traded ace Lance Lynn to the Chicago White Sox for the 98th prospect in all of baseball and right-handed pitcher Dane Dunning. And they also got left-handed pitcher Avery Weems, who was the White Sox 6th-round draft choice back in 2019 out of the University of Arizona. And I want to be the first one to say I think the Rangers should have gotten more in this deal. Everybody else on YouTube and on articles are saying this is a good and fair deal, but I think the Rangers should have gotten more in this deal. Don't get me wrong, I think Dane Dunning is a good prospect. I'm happy the Rangers got another top 100 prospect in their farm system to go along with Sam Huff and Josh Young. Although Weems, he isn't even on the White Sox top 30 prospect list. Although back whenever the Rangers traded Yu Darvish to the Dodgers, the Rangers were able to get Willie Calhoun, who was a top 50 prospect in all of baseball at the time, and they were able to get AJ Alexy and Brendan Davis, who were top 30 prospects in the Dodgers organization. Yu Darvish also would only be pitching for the Dodgers for half the year as he was traded at the deadline. Also, Darvish wasn't even pitching that well leading up to the trade deadline. On the contrary, Lance Lynn has been one of the best pitchers in the entire MLB over the past 2 years and his time with the Rangers, as he has totaled a 3.50 ERA, a 1.14 WHIP, and a 8.3 Fangraphs WAR in his first 2 years with the Rangers. And the White Sox will still get Lance Lynn for this entire season. They can still extend him if they want to. Although now that I'm done venting, let me break down the trade from each team's perspective. The White Sox are in a win now mode, so they went out and acquired a fairly cheap and reliable veteran in Lance Lynn, and he'll only be making $8 million this year according to Spot Track. Lance Lynn will most likely fill in as the White Sox number 2 or number 3 starter in the rotation for the White Sox, and this is a pretty nasty rotation as it already consists of Lucas Giolito, Dallas Keuchel, Dylan Cease, and Michael Kopech. So whenever you fit Lance Lynn in there, it could either go Lucas Giolito, then Lynn, or Lucas Giolito, Keuchel, and then Lynn. And for the White Sox, they'll be getting a workhorse in Chicago that gets you deep into ball games. He'll bring good leadership to a fairly young team, and he'll give you a quality start every 5th day. I can almost guarantee you that. Now moving on to the Rangers side of things. Even though it did seem like I was totally against this trade for the Texas Rangers, I do like the fact that we get right-handed pitcher Dane Dunning in return. Dunning is a guy who can start for the Rangers right away in 2021, and he has the potential to be a top-of-the-line starter if everything works out for him in the big leagues. This now leaves the Rangers rotation looking like Kyle Gibson as the number 1, Jordan Lyles as the number 2, Dane Dunning as the number 3, and then the possibilities of Colby Allard, Brock Burke, Joe Palumbo, and Kyle Cody as the number 5s. The rotation still doesn't look great, especially after we just traded an ace in Lance Lynn. And I still think the Rangers need to sign one more starter, maybe 2, but 1 at the minimum, and a guy like Chris Archer, Alex Wood, or Tijuan Walker. Although Dunning now gives the Rangers a young pitcher that they'll have control for a very long time. So that's really good to have because Lance Lynn was going to be a free agent after this year. As for the other pitcher in this deal, left-handed pitcher Avery Weems wasn't even on the White Sox top 30 prospect list, so I don't really know what to expect from him. Maybe he can develop into a good prospect or a good player, but I'm not sure. Although apparently in his first minor league season back in 2019, through 14 games in rookie ball, he posted a 2.09 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. So that's pretty impressive, but then again, it is rookie ball. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how Weems progresses through the Rangers minor league system. Although it's definitely obvious that Dane Dunning is the headline in this deal for Lance Lynn. That just about wraps up this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up down below. I'd really appreciate that. And tell me in the comments what you think of this trade. Do you think the Rangers should have gotten more? Or do you think it was a fair trade on both sides? Thanks for staying to the very end and watching the Texas Rangers Report on Centerfield Media. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.